As the war in Iran enters its fifth week, America is said to be considering several options for deploying ground troops for high-intensity, limited-duration missions. The focus would be on economic leverage, maritime security and nuclear containment.
Well, if past this prologue, when the president brings more assets, and in particular a certain type of asset to this theater and to this fight, it's because the president is keen to use them, not just keen to let them sit there in the background. There's Marine Expeditionary Units coming, there's paratroopers coming, there's quite the number of these forces coming, and that seems to be raising a debate as to what sort of ground force would or could be used against the Islamic Republic.
There were already more than 40,000 US soldiers stationed around the Middle East before the war began, but the US has significantly increased its troop and hardware presence in the region over recent weeks. 2 Marine Corps groups are en route, adding more than 4,500 personnel to those already in the region. They specialise in amphibious assaults and seizing coastal infrastructure. Up to 2,000 soldiers from the 82nd Airborne Division Immediate Response Division have been deployed. The division has a long combat history and is trained to conduct parachute assaults, seize airfields and secure terrain. Navy SEALs and Army Special Forces are already in situ for more sensitive tasks like intelligence gathering and securing nuclear sites. In all, nearly 7,000 additional troops have been sent. It is the largest deployment of US soldiers to the region since the Iraq War in 2003. The deployed force is thought to be consistent with discrete, time-limited operations and not a sustained ground campaign. So, what are the options? Well, one potential scenario is securing or blockading Hague Island. It's a coral outcrop 26 kilometres off Iran's southwest coast, and it handles around 90% of Iran's oil exports. US airstrikes last month damaged the military infrastructure there. Seizing it would give the US massive economic leverage over Tehran, but an amphibious landing may encounter mines and would likely elicit retaliatory drone and missile attacks. A core mission for the Trump administration is, of course, reopening the Strait of Hormuz. Military operations to achieve that include seizing smaller islands nearby, like Qashem and Abu Musa. They house missile and drone sites used by Iran to menace the global shipping lanes here. US Central Command could also send troops onto mainland Iran in this area here to provide safe passage for those ships going through the strait. The US is said to be still searching for hundreds of kilograms of highly enriched uranium. In a briefing to Congress, US Secretary of State Marco Rubio raised the prospect of ground operations to recover it. Nuclear sites at Natanz, Fordo and Isfahan have already been struck from the air, but an operation using special forces parachuting deep into Iran would be needed to recover the uranium. Analysts see this as the least likely option.
The challenge here is that these special operators would be dealing with fissile material, but would also have to dig through rubble and dig through rubble again in a combat zone. And I think the challenge is inherent in that. Is precisely why the president in a recent speech said that the U.S. would be monitoring Iran's nuclear sites with satellites, and if the regime moved towards them, then again the U.S. would strike.
Well, President Trump is known to favour short, impactful military action, and while options have been drawn up for ground forces, thus far the order has not been given.